We are welcoming in our GM, Jim Bowden here. What we're going to talk about, Jim, is actually the trade deadline. We are now on July 1st, 30 days from today. Paul Skenes on the bump tonight. And when our producer asked me this during the break, I was like, no. Paul Skenes, a future trade prospect potentially?
Well, it won't happen this trade deadline for sure, Amanda, and it's not going to happen in this offseason either. But eventually, the Pirates will trade him. We just don't know when. Why? Because they're never going to pay the $300 million it's going to take to sign him long term. So we'll be asking that same question next July in 2026 and next offseason. And if he's not traded then, we'll ask it again in 27 and maybe even 28. Will the Pirates keep him for 4 years before trading him? In all likelihood, I would say yes. But if the right deal came along starting next year, they're going to have to consider it because he's not going to spend his entire career in Pittsburgh.
Okay, if that's happening as early as next year, and look, I get this is looking at your crystal ball into the future. I can't even imagine what a trade package would look like for Paul Skenes. What, in your mind, as somebody who was in the front office for so long, award-winning, I might add, what would that trade package look like?
Well, the trade package would be bigger than what the Washington Nationals got for Juan Soto. And if you remember that haul, it includes James Wood, who right now is the best left fielder in the National League, as well as a huge package, Mackenzie Gore, who has led the NL in strikeouts most of the year, and young center fielder Robert Hassel, and Susana, the young left-handed flamethrower in the minor leagues. It was a huge package that they got in the Soto deal. This deal would be even bigger than that, Amanda.
Yeah, and I can't imagine the money. I mean, just breaking the bank, some of those remarkable, I mean, just, you know, billion-dollar player sort of things. That's further down. Pirates fans, calm down. We're going to talk about this season. The trade deadline 30 days away. Let's start with the Marlins, somebody in our backyard. We're here in South Florida. Sandy Alcantara, Cy Young winner, potentially a name on the move. Why for the Marlins, and what else, what other teams are out there that could use them?
Yeah, this is interesting, Amanda, because I touched base with all 30 general managers and team presidents to kind of find out who they think is going to be traded at the deadline. And Sandy Alcantara's name was first in the list. I was a little surprised, and I'll tell you why. He's 4-8 with a 6.98. You know, and so why would someone want to trade the prospect package it would take to get him right now? That's a huge question, right? But the answer that I got back was simple. Number one, they think he's pitching really well right now. In fact, he's getting up 3 runs or less in 4 of his last 5 starts, and they believe that he's getting very close to that 2022 form when he won the National League Cy Young Award that you referred to. And so because of that, and the fact that he is signed through 2027, so the team acquiring him would get him for 3 postseasons. That's why it's so huge. So as long as the team's trading for him believe he's going to get back to that Cy Young form, because of the price of pitching. Remember, Max Fried and Corbin Burns both got north of $200 million in the offseason. So it's a lot cheaper to trade for Alcantara than it will be to go and try to sign a free agent ace like Alcantara. So it sounds to me like he's going to be moved. And there's a lot of contending teams like the Chicago Cubs that will be in line to try to trade for him.
Yeah, I can imagine a lot of teams. We're going to stay on the East Coast. However, we're going to go way far up. You gave our producer 5 big names to keep an eye on. And as you mentioned, you talked to all the GMs out there. 2 of the 5 names are with the Red Sox. Are we looking at the Red Sox being sellers come the deadline? Why do you have 2 names, and who are they?
Again, that's what the industry is telling me. These aren't my names. This is what the GMs and presidents are telling me the most likely players to be traded. So Aroldis Chapman is having an incredible year for Boston. He's got a 1.32 ERA, 14 saves in 37 appearances, 50 punch-outs in 34 innings. And the best part about him is he has matured on and off the field. He's not partying anymore at 1 in the morning with his cigars like he used to with one of my sons. So the fact of the matter is, for the Red Sox, they need to trade for starting pitching. And if you remember, back on June 30th of 2023, he was traded from the Royals to the Rangers at the trade deadline, right, for Cole Reagans, which was a difference-making trade for Kansas City. If Boston can make that type of deal in the month of July, he gone.
He gone. That's an easy way to say it.
Yeah, and then, Amanda, in terms of Jarren Duran, another player that I keep hearing is going to be traded. Didn't quite understand it because of what he did last year. He was an all-star last year, right? I mean, this is the guy had 48 doubles, 14 triples, 31 homers, 75 RBIs, stole 34 bases. How do you trade Jarren Duran? Well, here's the answer that I got back. They want Abreu in right field because he's Gold Glove, and they want Roman Anthony to be the left fielder long-term with Rafaela in center. It makes him expendable. So if they can trade Duran to get an everyday first baseman or, again, an ace, a top-of-the-rotation type starter, they will trade Duran. And I'll tell you, I'll give you another name that's not on the 5 that I gave you guys today. I even heard one team say if they can't extend Alex Bregman by July 31st, they could trade him as well. And the Detroit Tigers are ready to send a huge package to Boston if they can get him.
Alex Bregman, okay, just really quickly, I mean, so he could potentially be on the move?
He could be on the move if Boston sells at the deadline and they can't extend him. Scott Boras is his agent. He could be traded.
Okay, that's crazy. On the move again for Alex Bregman. We'll keep an eye on that one. A couple other names, a couple first basemen. Ryan O'Hearn, we were also hearing from the Orioles. What do we need to know about him?
Yeah, Ryan O'Hearn, look, he's gotten on base 38% of the time with 11 homers, 30 RBIs for Baltimore. He can hit. He's really a DH, though, right? I mean, he can play a little first, a little left, but he's a DH. There's too many teams out there right now that need a bat. Seattle needs a bat. Kansas City needs a bat. So this is a guy, when Baltimore finally decides to sell, and they're not there yet, the industry thinks this guy's going to get moved. He is an impending free agent. It's unlikely they're going to be able to extend him before free agency. So why not trade him now and then try to re-sign him when he gets to the open market this fall?
More of a bat than a first baseman. One other first baseman we got a name from you, Josh Naylor with the Diamondbacks. He is going to miss his 3rd game now, I believe, dealing with neck stiffness. What are you hearing from the industry about him?
Yeah, they're not worried about the neck stiffness. What they love is what he's been able to do at the plate. He is slashing .304, .359, .474. He's got 10 home runs. Remember last year when he was a member of the Guardians, he hit 31 homers. He drove in 108 runs. He helped Cleveland get to the American League Championship Series to play the New York Yankees. And this is what I've been told. Seattle, Texas, San Francisco, Cincinnati, and Boston, all 5 teams have interest in Josh Naylor to get another left-handed middle-of-the-order bat. Again, Arizona right now is saying they're buying. They're going to get pitching. But let's all be realistic here. Unlikely they're going to make the playoffs. Right now, they're probably going to finish 4th in the NL West. Naylor's a free agent. I will be surprised if he is not traded come August.
I'll tell you what, NBA free agency going on today is just insane. So at least we have like 30 days to kind of get ready for the trade deadline, although things can happen before them. Jim Bowden, we appreciate your insight always, talking to those GMs, those owners, with all of the teams in Major League Baseball. Notable games we got coming up tonight. Twins at Marlins. Again with the Marlins, like Jim told us, could Sandy Alcantara potentially be on the move?